pretty sure it's live. I want to say hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is episode 2 of Harbinger, the Awakening. Before we begin, we'll do a quick little round table, let everybody tell you who they are and who they're playing. We will start with Mason.
Hello, I'm Mason, and I'm playing a Forge-born assassin by the name of N42635.
Sorry, caught me in the wrong window. Let's get that back. Next, we'll have Eve.
Hey guys, I'm Eve. I run the channel Lovely Craft Productions, which now has one 9-second video on it. So go check that out after this game, though. And I am going to be playing Weiss, a unscrupulous doctor who is very polite.
And after this game, there will be a link below to that said channel as soon as we get it. So thank you. Next, we'll have Connor.
Hey, I'm Connor. I am playing the Verloren Mancer named Ushime.
And last but not least, Kenya.
Hi, I'm Kenya. I am playing Jynx. She's over there, right here. Jynx. She is a Voidborn mechanist, and she's kind of the sassy, putting her fingers where they don't belong kind of a girl rolling around in the group. So probably gonna get in a lot of trouble, but it's okay. Spice it up.
Perfect. All right. So set the scene here. I'm going to share a screen because I can do that. Maybe. So we find ourselves in the metropolis of New Sardis on Tharkestra. It's night, late at night at this point. Our intrepid heroes have just gone to a concert, for lack of better words, at the nightclub / concert venue of the Hideaway, in which they were hoping to see and then visit afterwards with Void Shatter, a person of interest that Ushime had been told might be able to help him on his quest. Fortunately, while they were there, a bomber decided to crash the party and blew up the place, taking out poor Void Shatter in the process, as well as numerous other unlucky souls. Chaos ensued, and right now we find ourselves down deep in New Sardis on the floor. I need to stop sharing. On the ground floor there. And we hear the sounds of people yelling and screaming and running around on the streets outside. There are building windows being broken. They're shattered. Place has been trashed. Some are even on fire, as well as any hover cars that would have been around in the area. Smoke fills this air. And as we go even closer, we see the hideaway itself. And the front of the building, there's a crowd of people rushing through the doors inside to get inside the building at this point. We can't quite see what is happening in front. There is too much going on in the world around us. But as we flip our perspectives, we now see inside the hideaway tables are trashed. There's glass everywhere, little bits of pockets of Astra burning in places. There's fires everywhere. The interior is a shambles. There's smoke everywhere, and there are people clambering over each other and the debris, trying desperately to find a way out that's not the front door. We also hear sounds of explosions coming from outside, and the sounds even of police cars and firefighters in the distance. And that takes us to our party members, 3 of which are inside the back room, the stage rooms where the performers would get ready and hold their stuff. That is Jynx, Weiss, and Ushime. Meanwhile, N42635 is sitting outside, I believe on a crate at this point, just waiting and watching as stragglers are running out of this building into the back alley. But at the point that the big press of people from the initial escape has already dispersed, and there's no more, there's just a couple of trickles as people leave. Those coming now into the building that you guys can hear where you're at have not yet found that back area. And so for the moment, it is relatively quiet. What are you guys doing?
Jynx just got done gathering some loot from around the room. And I think the last thing that we heard was we could hear sirens, correct? Didn't we hear sirens coming down the roads and stuff?
Well, the ones inside, you are hearing people screaming. Before you were hearing people like leaving, right? It had gotten a little bit quiet in the room, and now you're hearing people yelling and screaming and coming back into the hideaway. So something's happened outside the hideaway, and now the people, instead of trying to leave, are trying to come back in. So that's what you hear, and they're getting closer to you. N42635, being outside, can hear in the distance sirens.
And I remember last session I had called to the party through the door that they should come on and need to get outside now when I heard the sirens.
Well, hey guys, I'm not really one to kind of hang out and see what happens. So we probably want to get moving. And she's going to kind of start backing out of the room and down the hall to head towards where N's yelling from.
I wouldn't normally be inclined to agree, but in this case, I think this is wise. Mr. Ushime, are you coming along?
Of course.
Jynx will look over at Ushime and say, I'm wise. Did you hear? Did you hear that? Did you hear Weiss? I'm wise. Did you hear that?
I did hear that, yes.
Then follow me. She'll just head down the hallway towards the exit.
Very disingenuous smile Weiss follows.
You're muted, Karen.
Yeah. So as the 3 of you leave out the back door, you see N42635 sitting just off to the side.
I was sitting on a crate and I'm looking through a leather journal that, if you look closely, has names in it. But when they show up, I put the journal away and say, okay, we can finally go now.
And so for what you see in this back alley area, there's the odd person, like, kind of disappearing around the corners of said exits from the entranceways. And as you look down, let's say one way, you can see, like on that street there, like people are running to and from both ways up and down that street. And if you look at the other side, again, there's also people running here and there all over the place. Like something is going on. And you now can also hear the sounds of the police and firefighters in the distance. Ushime, how did you get here to this place?
That's a very good question. Ushime walked here from a place that he had been staying for the past few nights, I think. A place that it was set up for him by his patron, so to speak, Janos. It's a bit of a distant walk away. Perhaps even he took some, whatever public transportation option there is, this rail that dives its way through this metropolis.
And Weiss, what was your transport? I know both Jynx and also walked here. So how did Weiss get here?
Weiss, I think, just took a nice, I think the equivalent to like the public transit. So like a street, like the orchestrion streetcar bus type thing.
Perfect. Okay, so you guys are all on foot at this moment. You are in this back alley. You can hear the sounds approaching. There sounds like some sort of commotion going on in front. You can see in the alley, like on those streets that they empty out into, that something is going on in the world around. What are you guys doing?
Jynx is going to kind of look around and I guess try to lead the group or direct the group in a inconspicuous way to get away from the scene of the crime, so to speak. And then ask N, what are you doing out here? Why were you out here? We were all in there. What happened? Where are we going?
Void Shatter, I'm pretty sure got taken. I got to the back door and saw people hurriedly get into a car, and it sped off very quickly. But I also do not want to be near this area when the police come, so I think we should keep walking.
We have no leads whatsoever on where this void shatter was taken. I suppose we do have this. And I kind of reach into my bag and I pull out that tissue that I collected. This does have some residue from void shatter. And now, Karen, if this is too much, that you can absolutely retcon this. But do you mind if I kind of? I think I have a colleague who might be able to help us with this. He does quite well with identification of persons with very little to go on, and I kind of wave the Kleenex in the bag, essentially. and I guess yeah, I think so. We talked about there was a couple of people in my now. Is this too much, or is this okay? Cool. In that case, so I kind of wait for a response. Like, are we gonna go on this or no?
Sounds like a good plan to me.
Yeah, I mean, I've got this. What did I find on the? I found something on the body of the person. Let me check my notes.
You have it, yeah, a little fleshy bit.
Yeah, I do. So when you pull your fleshy bit out, Jynx pulls her out and like, look, we match. And she holds out her fleshy bit and displays it, and it shows that symbol. I could put a couple feelers out and maybe we can figure out what this is for too. This was actually kind of fell off the guy that, ah,
I do know some people that deal with. I do know some people that deal with tracing matters of flesh. So they should be able to help.
Oh yeah, I was more talking about the symbol. It's got that lightning symbol she drew for us last time, the 2 lightning bolt thing. I was more talking about the symbol that's on here. We could track that down.
If I can get a line of contact.
Yeah, that symbol.
And Karen, correct me, but you said last session that some of us had seen that symbol in.
Yes. Both Weiss and Ushime have been plagued with this symbol since about 3 months ago. You've seen it in your dreams.
Wait a moment. Can I see that? I've seen this before, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen it anywhere. Never mind, take it back.
It is about at this time when you guys are approaching the mouth. That's what it's called. The mouth of the alley, and about to hit onto the main part of the street. And it's almost like you've been hearing the sounds, get louder and louder as you've been approaching the end there. But it's almost like you've walked into a different world. The area around you is a riot zone. There's mass destruction on all the buildings across the street. You can see like this hover car is on fire over there. That building's on fire. This person's screaming they're on fire. There's like bits of Astra clouds here and there. You can just see like the place is a chaotic mess. Something's been going on. And in fact, as you come out, you can see a group of, for lack of better terms, thugs. These like leather clad, except it's probably some sort of eel skin, potentially. Not leather as we know it, but leather as Harbinger knows it. Beating up on some people, like they've got wrenches, like pipes or something, and they're wailing on these people. The people are, at this point, they're dead. Like they're not moving. They're pretty much a bloody mess, but this group is just continuing to wail on them. And as you come out of this alley, one of them looks up and sees you. And immediately you can see the glaze in their eyes. Like these guys are on dust. Dust being the street version of like an Astra infused hardcore drug, like we would have, like, like I'm not a good drug person. person, but like
Like
crack
crystal
or
meth or yeah.
like.
Mhm.
But this is like an astral infused version, and you can see from the glow in their eyes, it almost like there's an irradiation that comes from it. These people are high on this stuff, and they are crazed. And as they look up, they see you, and we're going to roll for initiative.
How many of them are there? Just
There
curious.
are 4.
Okay. 21.
I need my
That-
paper. Okay.
That is, come on, stats. 15.
Okay. So N got 21. Jynx is 5. Okay. Mason, what's N's dex?
2.
2. Okay. I'm just going to write it in here. Okay, just give me 1 second. There, I think I got everybody. Okay, so, and you act first.
Perfect. Which one of them looks like the leader?
Yeah, so there's definitely one that is, you can tell like that they're dressed a little bit better. Well, whereas the rest have probably tattered clothes, etc. There is one that I'm just going to show up a picture real quick. You can just imagine that show all windows. Will not let me share it. Okay, so yeah, there's one that's definitely looks like a leader, so you could pick that one up for sure. He's just got the nicer equipment.
Okay.
They are, besides the thing that they're hitting these guys with, you can see that they do have guns and blades. The one with the nice clothes has an axe, actually.
Okay. I'm gonna step. So I'm already in range. I have a long range weapon, but I'm gonna step so I'm closer to the thugs than the party behind me. And then I'm going to level my gun at the target who looks like the leader. And say, you really shouldn't be targeting people who are already dead. And nat 20
Okay,
for my shot.
perfect. So roll your damage.
How do you do crits? How do you do it?
We are going to double damage. So roll twice and then add your mod.
Okay, so from just the shot is 12 damage, but I have a special ability called Ambusher. I do an additional 2d6 damage on my first turn.
Okay.
Does that get doubled too then?
Yeah, it would.
Oh God. Okay, that's 24 additional.
So sorry, what's 24 and what was the first?
12.
12. Okay. So you rock this guy so hard. Your blast shoots, and what were you using to shoot with?
It's a carbine.
A carbine. Okay, so it stop share. The guy just has like a massive immediately turns to like a bloody pulp or whatever. You have decimated this dude, and the almost spurs the rest of them even more crazed, and they attack you en masse.
Yep, I'm going to use a bonus action to dodge, so I get a +2 to my AC.
Okay, all right. So one of them misses you as he tries to attack. They're coming in like so short range, so they're using their bladed weapons at this point. So this guy has a short blade, and he goes for you, but your dodge is way quicker than he was expecting, and it just kind of slices right beside you. However, maybe you dodged into the other guy. He did manage to just clip you. So you're going to take 4 points of piercing damage as he manages to kind of skewer you a little bit. And the third one actually doesn't charge you. They just kind of stand there over the bodies, and immediately, like, they kind of the Astra in the air just kind of starts to coalesce around them, and they hurl this ball of Astra at you. It is red in color, and it comes towards you, hitting an AC 18, which I believe
Just hits.
is just hits. So that's going to engulf you with energy damage, this one, for another 5 points of energy. How is N doing from that attack?
That hurt. I'm
Okay.
under half.
Okay, that brings us to Ushime.
Ushime stands seeing this assault happening on these two parties involved. Will stand in front of you and trying to like impose himself between us and them. Just get out of here, go. We have no quarrel with you. He'll kind of shout at them as he interposes. And kind of like glowers a look a bit at N for being the first one to fire a first shot here. It seems that perhaps Yushime's ways of the pacifist are a little bit leaking out here. But he will ready his action.
Mm-hmm.
I guess. I'm looking up at my ability to see if it's actually an action to use it or not. Page 26. So I hope it isn't, but maybe it is. It's a bonus action, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna use my bonus action to conjure from my wrist and like forearm area, almost like a great shield / spike of green Astra, and kind of just hold it almost like a tower shield rather than as some kind of lance, to impose it, again, just kind of blocking it. I'm gonna hold my action to retaliate if they don't take my threat seriously here. But I gain 1 Astra Fade from this as I conjure my Astra Blade. That's my turn.
Okay, so you have tried to put yourself in between them and the rest of the party.
Yeah.
So you're standing
The vanguard, basically. Yeah.
Side N at this point, because they
I'm wanting to almost like push them off of N a little bit, if it makes sense.
Yeah. Saying, we have no quarrel, and they basically just kind of yell, what's the word I'm looking for? Crack back, their voice cracking, and but we have problems with you. Basically, as you can tell that diplomacy is probably not going to work at this point, especially not now. Weiss, it is your turn.
This is unpleasant. And Weiss is going to pull off the bandages off of their right hand, revealing that it is completely necrotech. And there's kind of these pulsing blue astra kind of veins going through it. And I'm just going to punch one of these people. And since I have the necrotech arm, it is a powerful unarmed attack.
Nice.
Ooh, continuing the trend of last session and rolling really badly. 8 plus 4, 12.
12 actually hits.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Thank God. So Weiss just, I imagine in sort of the drugged out state, this person is not expecting someone of Weiss's size to just like roll up on them and just uppercut them in the head and their chin. There we go. That's not bad. That's 5 plus how much strength? Oh, I lift. That's going to be 7 bludgeoning damage as just I kind of and there's like the creak of servos and kind of a slight buzz of astras. The necrotech is brought to crushing the guy's jaw.
Yeah, and you probably actually hear the breakage of bones when you do that, and the guy staggers back a little bit. That definitely rocked him. He is still up, but he is now bleeding from the nose, the mouth, and it is definitely damaged.
I don't quite get into like a full Jackie Chan defensive pose, but I do get a little bit defensive stance back.
That brings us to Jynx.
Okay, so question. Can I increase my Astra Fade as many times as I want in a turn, or are you limited to how many times you can do it in a turn?
No, you can. It depends what you can do. You can only do like one action, but you can.
But if I have an action and a bonus action that can both increase it, I can increase it, and I'm okay.
Absolutely. It's just that when you go over, so let's say you do your action first, and let's say it bumps you up by 3 points, and you go over your limit, you have to roll before you can do your bonus action, which will cause you to roll again. Yeah.
So my limit is 1. I'm already at 1 because I flung a green ball at somebody to heal them the last time. So the first thing I have another question before I know what I'm going to do. I just want to make sure I'm understanding the visual of the layout. So we've got N who shot first. Ushime is standing next to N to kind of try to protect N a little bit with the shield. Yeah. And then we've got Weiss who just ran up an uppercut. So my drone, I can make an arc mesh drone and send it out and use it as an explosive. And the each creature within 10, as a reaction, each creature within 10 feet of the drone must make a dexterity saving throw. So, but I want to make sure that I can put the drone somewhere where I'm not going to hit my friends. Is that possible in the layout that's going on, or am I going to hit them regardless? Like, could I put the drone past the group? I want to hit all the bad guys and not my friends, and it's a 10-foot radius.
So I think you could probably hit the guy that Weiss just punched, because he's he's got kind of pushed back, like they're all still in melee. But you could probably hit that one, and the one that didn't move, that are still at the the people but the other one, if you tried to get them, you would probably hit either N or Ushime with that. So you can get 2 for sure.
Okay, so Jynx is going to, and you're not supposed to be in close combat like that, sweetheart. And she's gonna pull out her arc tool on her arm/wrist thing, and she's going to conjure up, I think it's blue is the color for shields, right? Or is it green? What is it? I remember
green.
which color it is. Green. She's going to pull up and first thing she's going to do as a bonus action is she's going to create a shield spheroid, and she's going to just kind of take it and fling it over at N. And once per round for the next minute, when N is hit by an attack, they can use their reaction to increase their AC by a number equal to your intelligence modifier until the start of their next turn.
Sweet.
So her AC goes up by 3 because my intelligence modifiers are 3. So N now has a +3 to her AC. And then once she gets done with that, she's going to start as an act. Oh, that raises my astrofade by 1. So I have to do
So now you need to roll a d6.
a d6. Okay, I can do that. 5.
5. Astra brings you to the floor and you are knocked prone.
Okay.
So you're now prone on the ground. You can describe how that happens. What does that look like as you throw off your sphere?
Okay. So she goes and she flings the sphere forward and into N's direction, and as she does it, there's this weird almost as soon as it impacts with N and starts to circle and spin around N to protect her, there's almost a weird shockwave reverb that kind of comes back, and it hits her hand first and then just kind of jerks her backwards and pops her back, and she hits the ground. She's like on her butt on the ground and just, oh man, oh, that shit's smart sometimes. Okay. And then can I continue to do an action, or does it end my turn?
No, you can continue because you still
Okay.
haven't done your move. So you could actually
Right.
use your move to stand up if you wanted. And...
Okay. Well, I'm going to stay on the ground, just because I'm down here. But she's going to use her action to then immediately turn around and grab her arc tool, and she's going to start fiddling around with it. And she's going to create this teeny tiny little like holographic drone that's going to lift up and it's going to take over and position itself back where I can get those 2 guys. And then it says as a reaction. So I guess once it stops, my reaction to it stopping there would be to detonate it. So it's going to and fly over, and it's going to hover and where she can get the 2 guys. And then immediately it's just going to and just explode in this Astra colored bubble of explosive fun.
Okay.
And
so
it's
before we do the explosion,
I need to roll again.
Yeah. Because that
Okay.
puts you up 1 by 1 more. So you 2
Yes,
past.
I'm at 3 now, and my limit's 1, so I'm at
so
2
you're
past
2
my
over.
limit.
Yeah. So still a d6.
Okay. Oh, not 13. Fix that number. 1.
1. You are able to maintain control of the Astra and nothing happens.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's because I stayed sitting on the ground.
Exactly. You're like, I'm recovering.
I'm good here. Not going anywhere.
Okay. So the thing explodes. What does that do?
The explosion, the drone, the arc drone bursts almost as soon as it gets into position, and it causes a explosion where they have to roll a dexterity saving throw, and the target number is a 13.
Oh, they both failed.
Okay, so on a failed save, a creature takes a number of d6s of energy damage equal to half your proficiency bonus rounded down. My proficiency bonus is a 2, so it's 1d6 of damage, but...
Okay.
Okay, 1.
1.
So it's just a poof. It's a little poof.
It's a little poof. Maybe it didn't quite maybe it was a little too high or something, and or the Astra in the area just kind of somehow deflected some of it, but both of the they both take 1 energy
And
damage.
that's and I guess at that point, after she's done doinking around, she's gonna stand back up and get off of being prone, and then that's my turn.
Perfect. That brings us back to the top of the order with N.
N's gonna look at the blue spheroid that's now circling her and go, I told you not to put these things around me. They make it too easy to find me. So she's gonna reach for her dagger. As soon as her hand touches it, she remembers it's actually broken right now. And then she's going to use her bonus action to disengage from the guy who's still at point blank range with her. Take a 5-step step back and aim at the person who just blasted her with Astra.
Okay.
With her gun. Because she does not like that guy right now. That's a 19.
Yes, that's a hit.
Okay. Now where do my D10 go? 12 damage.
Sorry, 12?
12.
12? Yeah, you can describe how you killed that person.
He's probably still a little phased by the explosion that just happened in front of him. And then a bullet just pierces right between the eyes.
and with no extra sound, maybe not even like grunt. The eyes just kind of like, deer, and he falls. And that is your turn. Are you? Yeah.
Yep.
That will bring us to the remaining two. And Connor, they do not stop their attacks. So that will trigger your readied action as they go to attack again.
He will then use his Astra Blade, kind of shove it against them, forcing them back. It almost like crackles as the energy touches their armor. It kind of sizzles at it as he shoves them back. As I make my attack roll.
Now, which one are you attacking? Are you attacking the one with the broken jaw or attacking the one that has yet to be actually hit?
Probably the one that's yet to be hit,
Okay.
I guess. It's going to be a total of 20 to hit.
Yes, that's a hit.
And does 6 points of damage.
Whew. So you...
It does energy damage, if that matters.
Okay, perfect. So you hit this guy with your shield, effectively, like your... Yeah, and it's almost like he wasn't expecting the amount of damage, and it's like you can just kind of see him shock. He's singed quite badly from that, but that does not stop him from attacking, but it does get his attention, and so he is going to attack you back, Ushime. That is a 10 to hit, which I do not believe is going to hit you.
It does not.
No. So, yeah, it's almost like that shock was just a little bit too much. His hand is vibrating with the blade that's on it, and it's just wide. He hits wide. The other one, is on Weiss. Weiss, you just gave him a nasty toothache. So he's kind of holding the face, and just you can see like there's nothing really left in him that like any sanity. Like this guy is completely nuts. Like he is not really present. Oh, that's a 19 on the die. So that will be a 22 to hit.
That hits.
Okay, so this is with a blade. He's got a short blade out, and it must catch you. Maybe the look in his eyes made you look somewhere, and meanwhile he faded into got you in the leg or something, some vulnerable spot, and you're going to take 4 points of piercing damage.
I think Weiss is not the best fighter. They rely mostly on surprise to get the upper hand, so that checks out. Okay. So 4 damage, you said?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And then that brings us right back to Ushime. If you're talking, you're muted.
Yeah, that'll do it. Okay. So, Ushime will continue his attack then.
Okay. The same worsen?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Again, shoving him with that energy crackle of the shield that he brings up over his arm. It's going to be a total of 11 to hit.
Unfortunately, that does not hit.
I imagine there's like this, the inverse of a tug of war, like just pressing into it now. He's not at all damaged or off balance now by the by the shove as this pressing green, almost like the force field, pushes into his whatever, like a metal blade or bit of pseudo armor on his own gauntlet or something. Now kind of like we're pitted against each other and sparks are kind of flying from where we meet.
Yeah, it's almost like the first hit was because he wasn't expecting it at all. He didn't know what this was, and then now it's like, oh, I know how to fight this thing. And yeah, he's standing toe to toe with you. And that'll bring us to Weiss.
So is this person still like right up in my face?
Yeah, they're the one that has the most bloody face is right up in your face. Yeah.
Okay.
He's
I'm
probably
going-
screaming and spitting at you,
I'm going to I'm going to kind of try to pull like a feint. So as soon as this person clips me in the leg, I just kind of kneel over, and then I just try to let that just go into like cracking my hand into his knees. So I'm gonna attack again.
Perfect.
Ooh, all right. Well, that's another 8, so another +4, so 12 to hit.
Which hits.
This is supposed to be a balanced dice. It has not rolled anything above a 10 the entire time I've played in this campaign. Okay. And that's going to be 4 damage as I just kind of try to knock him in the kneecap.
You can't tell me how this ends him.
I imagine actually this is I try to get him in the kneecap, and instead he kind of trips, and I just take the momentum and grab him by the face with my arm, and then just kind of bring both of us tumbling down, except my arm crushes him into the pavement and kind of presses a little farther, just and his whole face is crushed in.
Yeah, I can just imagine you crush that already crushed face down into the ground, and it is doing what faces aren't supposed to be doing at this moment. And he is not there.
Lift up my arm, flex it a bit, kind of flick off some of the blood, and look over to Ushime and then just kind of move to get into position to help him out.
Okay, that will bring us to Jynx.
So, let's see.
There's one standing right now at toe to toe with Ushime.
Okay. I'm wondering if I'm just checking my drone real quick. I want to see if I've got anything that to open a lock, disarm a trap, perceive through it. No, I was hoping it would have like help you grapple ability, because I am not strength based, but I guess at this point, Jynx is so like, she's, you know what? Okay. She's gonna look at the guy that's left, and she's gonna kind of step up towards him and stare at him and say, "Just fucking run." And I'm just gonna try to intimidate him to like leave the situation.
Okay, give me that roll.
Okay.
It will be I will say it will be difficult because this guy is like
Yeah. Oh
out
yeah.
of his head, right? But give me that roll.
15.
Yeah,
No?
that's not gonna do it. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. It's just, Jynx has got to do what she would do. So that's it. When he looks at her and kind of, I don't know, I would assume he probably just kind of chuckles and gets this crazed look.
Yeah, I think it's almost as if he doesn't even understand what you're saying more than anything. Is like those words just aren't comprehending to him at this moment.
She's going to kind of look at the rest of the team and just shake her head and say, fucking hate junkies. And then that's gonna be her turn.
That brings us back to N.
I'm going to look at that person. Can I try an intimidation with dexterity instead of charisma? Using my gun, literally showing him what I've done already.
I wouldn't say with Dex. No.
No,
I mean,
okay. I'm just gonna
yeah,
shoot him.
I wouldn't. Not with the. Yeah. Sorry. Not with.
That's
Dex.
okay. Figured I'd ask before I just shot the person. Does a 18 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. 10 damage.
10. You can tell me how you end him.
I shoot him in the kneecap.
Okay. How does that look?
I'm assuming that Ushime's sword is still out. So he kind of just stumbles forward into Ushime's blade. It's just there.
So you take out his kneecap, and the guy falls forward into that shield that glows and is immediately charred by it, and falls to the ground lifeless. That is it at this moment. You have dealt with those. A closer look at the people that they were beating on, you can definitely tell that they're past any point of help at this point.
I imagine it's Weiss looking at the deceased people beforehand, and you just hear them go, "Ooh, I would have not want to been the people that were here 5 minutes before we were." All right. Well done, everyone. Now let's get here before people find out that we just beated up 3 dusters. Beat up and killed 3 dusters.
4. I point to the leader. There was 4 targets, not 3. But yes, we should run away from here.
Of course. Semantics are important. Come along, Mr. Ushime. Let's not wait around for the police.
Of course.
And so where do you guys head to? As you look around, you can see that there's pockets, like what you just experienced here. There are pockets of that going on around this area.
I guess if we were gonna go through with the plan of finding one of Weiss's contacts, I guess I'd be interested in, I guess, seeing if I know of any members of the Transmuters congregation on Thorchestra that I'm familiar with, that I could maybe bring something like this to, and then they could maybe do some biological tracking. Or, it'd be more just like, oh, you're muted.
Stupid button. I would definitely say, yeah, there's somebody on Thorchestra, probably even in New Sardis, that you might be able to give a contact to. How about you give me a, what are the skills? Is there a survival skill still?
I think so.
Just give me a roll on that, and we'll see how far away they are with that.
All right. That's my dump stat.
While the doctor's busy trying to remember things, I'm going to walk up behind the doctor and say, "It looked like you got hurt in that fight. Stand still," and pull out one of my healing vendors.
I think Weiss does it. Weiss is just kind of thinking, now where was I? And I got a 2 -1, so a 1, modified
Okay.
1.
Okay, so you do remember that there is someone in the city, but it will take you a few hours. If you're trying to walk there, it would take you like probably 8 hours to get there, probably a couple of hours even by transit. But you could get there. It will take most of this night that's remaining to approach them, but you have a destination.
By the rings. This will take a little bit of time, but I assume if we all just stay quiet, we avoid any more street ruffians, we should be able to get there in at least, optimistically, 4 to 6 hours.
Stand still, Doc. And I'm just going to stab him with the healing mender. So you now get to regain 1 hit die plus your Constitution modifier.
All right, and I get one of my hit dice, D8. That was a 7, nice. So I'm back up to full.
Sweet.
And
that is your only hit die, right? At this point, because you guys are level 1. Yeah.
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 Do I have to use that hit die, or do I get to? Oh yeah, I guess
don't know if you actually use it.
So the menders basically allows you to use have a short rest in the middle of a combat.
Artificial short rest. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, then I've used up my hit die, and then I just kind of mutter as I'm kind of rubbing as I pull out the mender and I'm rubbing the place where the scar is healing. I must have deserved that at some point.
As he's muttering, I'm going to stab myself with another one because you get 3 charges. So.
Yep.
And I'm low. Sweet. I'm back to full. I rolled a 10.
All right. Okay. So, yeah, where are you guys going? How are you getting there? Which way are you heading?
Upon hearing the 6 to 8 hours or 4 to 6, it's really, when you're over an hour, it's all like the same pretty much. So upon hearing the length of time it's going to take for us to get to where we need to go, so is there any chance that in the course of this path where we're going, we're going to bypass maybe some contacts that Jynx has, where I could try to find us a quicker connection to do what the doc wants to do? Or are we not going to pass my area that I'm connected
Let's use
to?
that survival check to see how close your person is.
Okay. Oh, that's 0. Well, I'm not at a negative, so that's good, right?
Yeah.
16.
Oh yeah, your contact is far closer.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
probably the opposite direction, but
Yeah. So I got somebody that's like 35 minutes that way, guys. We can go talk to them first. Maybe find out about this symbol, and then see if we can get a faster route to wherever Doc wants to go.
My eye twitches, but I also can't argue with the efficiency. So Weiss just kind of, I suppose.
It's
What's
part of why
next
you're
to
on
do?
the team.
So Jynx will just kind of do a quick 180 and just take off walking in the opposite direction and leading the group that way.
Before we leave, I'm going to loot the bodies.
okay. So I'm going to say at this point, we start with the leader guy. His scout suit is trashed. It's not going to be useful at this point because you just blew it to smithereens. However, he did have a war axe and a short scatter gun on his possession, both of which he did not use. Well, the war axe is a little bit bloodied at this point, but not from you. The others. The one that was actually by the other bodies is has got nothing. They again pretty scorched. They're all wearing kind of like a scout suit at this point, but they would not be. At best, they are battered for these three guys. However, two of them are carrying light pistols and short blades. Other than that, they've got nothing.
Okay.
They don't actually have any of the drugs or anything on them.
Oh no, they took that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's gone. That is all gone. So you are heading
Until we have time to talk about who wants what.
so you guys heading. Okay, you just came out of the alley, and we'll say one direction would put you around to the front of the hideaway, and the other one's going to take you in the opposite direction of the hideaway. Which direction are you going? Or are you going down the other back alley?
Well, whichever direction is leading towards my contact, which is the closer one. So, yeah, just whichever way that is.
I'll let you guys choose which way that is.
Do we want to kind of go around the front and see what's happening, or do we want to just stay out of view and kind of sneak around and make our way? What do you
After
guys want
that
to do?
altercation, I think I would prefer to stay hidden as possible.
Okay, then
Yeah.
we'll lead in the opposite direction.
Okay,
of
so
the-
away from
the building, correct?
So as you head that direction, I would like you to make at this point, a stealth check. You're not actually stealthing, but make me a stealth check to see how noisy and still you guys are.
24.
Jynx had a 13.
Absolute garbage. 4.
Oh, wait, we're sneaking? Well, I got a 4 as well, so I didn't realize that we were even trying to be stealthy.
Well, I said you weren't snaking. I just wanted to know how loud you were, and apparently, very. So
For the record, this is with a new dice that I
saw that you picked one up.
I'm quiet.
Oh, that's terrible.
I'm just looking at you guys being so loud and going, guys, try and keep it down a little, please. Just a little.
I mean, Weiss and Ushime are trying their best, but there's so much debris and stuff. They're kicking cans and whatever thing debris is on this road. And it's at one point you pass another, maybe a blackened building. It's on fire. And just as you get past, there's another group of these things that see you and come out. And I need you to roll initiative again at this point.
I really hope this is the only 18. This isn't the only 18 I roll tonight, but 20 total initiative.
Jynx got a 4. Apparently I've grabbed a hold of Weiss's horrible rolls and tucked them in.
You were turning to, chastise these two, and I totally didn't see these guys come out of the building. Sorry.
18.
And Weiss got 20?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so give me 1 second as I put that in here. So it will be Weiss, then N, then you Ushime. And then we have And Jynx. Jynx is at the bottom. So top of the order, we have Weiss. Weiss, these guys just came out of the building behind you, making all sorts of noises. Again, you can see that these guys they're definitely hopped up on something, probably the same something. Even the leathers that they're wearing, as ragged and scraps as they are, they look similar to the ones that you fought earlier. So,
All right.
together, yeah.
Have they noticed? So sorry. Have they noticed us or no?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
They saw you as you passed the building, and they came out because they saw you.
I pull out my light pistol and aim it at them, and just say very loudly, "I really don't want to have to do this again." I don't fire, but I just kind of yell loudly at them.
Okay, so you're holding your action?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
If they make any step before us, I'm firing at that. That's my reaction trigger.
Awesome. N, what is N doing?
Unfortunately, I lose my bonus if I hold my action, so I'm not going to hold my action. I'm going to shoot the leader again.
All right, give me that roll. He is behind the other guys at this point, so he's going to have
He's
a little
still
bit of
in
a
range.
cover. Pardon me? No, but he's going to have cover as you try to shoot.
Cover doesn't matter when you get a nat 20 again.
All right. Tell me how you shoot right between the guy's shoulders and hit this guy. Roll that damage.
Yep. Let's see. $14 from the shot and 20 from the ambush.
All right. So you can describe to me this shot you take at the guy and what happens.
I noticed that they're again trying to attack our party, and I'm getting quite sick of this. These crazed people who are trying to stop us from getting to where we're going. So I see whoever looks like the leader. Notice that one of my party members told them to not come closer, and I shoot him in the eye, which probably blows out the back of his head because I do a lot of damage.
So the others might even not even have seen this guy because he was still kind of in the shadows behind the other ones. But it's like you see the face was one moment there and now it is gone. He is not there. And that will bring us to Ushime.
Ushime is going to, I guess, take the dodge action as just kind of getting cover for his turn.
Unmute myself. So you're going for cover, Ushime.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. That will bring us to them. And yes, Weiss, they don't look like they are in any way going to listen to you. And they come forward with their blades drawn. So, have at her.
All right. Ooh, natural 20.
Oh, look at you guys.
There we go. I knew I could change this dice for something. All right. Oh, okay. So that's okay. So you said it's roll double your number of dice for a crit.
Yeah, just basically double damage, right? And then add your mods after that. So
okay, not bad. So that's going to be 14 piercing damage or whatever damage a pulsar does.
perfect. You can describe to me how this one dies.
I shoot him right through like a kind of weird medical weak point that you wouldn't think of necessarily, just to show off.
It's
I'm
just
a
like
doctor.
you like graze his neck, right? Just
I graze his jugular vein in a way that he just like bleeds out after 5 seconds.
it's like almost instantaneously like this.
Yeah.
And he doesn't even know what happens, and he just like topples.
And I just shrug and I say, look, I really warned you, fellas, if now there's no hard feelings if you just want to run now, but I was not kidding.
And it's like the other two look at the guy who you just shot, and they have that moment, where their eyes meet and they both kind of look at like what just happened here, before the one falls lifeless, and then the other two look back at you, and it's almost like that rage that they were feeling amped up. And I'm not even sure that they know what you did, in because it didn't hit them, and they don't know because it was silent and deadly. So I think, Weiss, I'm sorry, they are both again going after you.
Problem.
Oh dear. One got a crit, but the other one missed you. So
Nice.
it's almost like the one that missed you took all your attention, and you dodged his strike, meanwhile opening your back up to the other guy, who then just kind of shoves his short blade up under your ribs, and you're going to take, I rolled low, 5 points of piercing damage.
No, you rolled low, but that's still half my health.
It's still a lot of damage. That could have ended poor Weiss.
Poor little wife.
And that guy is dead. So that will bring us to Jynx.
Oh man. Let's see, I'm already 2 over the freaking Astra thing. It's
Go home.
I know, but it's so like not in Jynx's personality to she really tries not to kill people. So I'm gonna try. She's gonna pull out both of her daggers and she's gonna kind of walk forward, and I'm gonna try to intimidate them again. And just Jynx is gonna look at him and, your boss is dead. We killed your friends 2 alleys over. Just stop, man. Just go, run, live, do more drugs tomorrow. Get out of here. She's just gonna try to get him to run down the street and leave.
Give me that intimidation check.
Natural 20 plus 4, so 24.
All right. You know what? That is enough. It does work. It's like whatever effect that the dust that they had taken is like wearing off, or at least for these two. Potentially seeing what just happened to, the person that was standing right there. Plus, you also notice that these two don't have weapons, the ones that are left. Sorry, one doesn't have weapons and the other one has the weapon. So they kind of look at each other and yeah, they're going to bolt. So they go to turn to run. That will give, I know Weiss and N were both there, and Ushime, you're saying no, and you went up, that you're at range.
Opportunity, yeah.
Okay, yeah, because they closed in with Weiss. So they closed in with Weiss and Ushime. So you two and Jynx, if you wanted to, you guys have the chance of opportunity attack if you'd like to. Otherwise, they are turning to run. They've had enough of this as well.
As he runs and turns and runs away, I kind of pull out the slight pistol again, kind of aim it at him, and then just pull it back and just kind of shake my head and say, Not even once.
Perfect. So they disappear off down the road to do who knows what the rest of this evening. But you have at your feet two mostly unharmed but yet dead people. What are you doing?
I'm checking the leader that nobody else noticed died.
So this guy has a scout suit. It is actually in decent repair. Like, it's not battered like the other ones. It is still worn, but it is definitely a much nicer than the other two. And this one has also got a scattergun.
Nice. The big scattergun or the one-handed one?
The short scattergun. Yeah. They can't afford the big ones. What are you talking about?
I think I actually would still see the small scattergun and just kind of, hold on, wait a minute. Oh, man, I remember these.
I'll say, if you want it, I'll give it to you. I don't need them.
They used to make these back on Arcanis when I was still allowed to work there without being shot at. How nostalgic. I think I will take it. And Weiss just takes it, the little scattergun, and puts it in their cloak.
Perfect. And the other body, it just has the battered old scout suit. It's not actually got any weapons on him. However, with these bodies, while you are, I'm assuming are you taking off the scout suit off the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You said it was in good enough repair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just worn. It's yeah. It's fine. So when you're removing the scout suit from that body and you're going through the other one, you notice that both of these have that same symbol that Jynx, you're carrying in your nice little bag there. I will share this again. Share.
On my special fleshy bit.
Yeah. But on these two, yeah, like the one you had, it's kind of hard because like it was a little tiny fleshy bit. So you can see that these ones, the color of the brand / tattoo, it's almost like a mixture of both. It's like whatever was used to make this infused right in the skin as well. And it's it glows slightly as you know the life is leaving the body. You can see it and it's kind of diminishing, but by the time you still see it, it's still glowing almost the same color as I think Jynx, one of you has the red Astra, I believe, or has shown it. It glows like red Astra slightly as it before it peters out to 2-0. So
Jinx's eyes are like,
yes,
she had them colored, the orange fading into the red around the pupils. So,
And that's on the person's arm?
various points. You probably on the leader guy, yeah, it's probably blazing right here in his arm. On the other one, it's more on the back of the neck.
I'm gonna chop the arm off with the war axe I looted.
All right.
Just so we have a better representation of the picture to show the people that need it.
I will let you do that while you are looking at
Weiss
these
is going to
bodies.
kind of, let me help.
Of course.
Weiss kind of, and I would like to assist if there's any kind of check that needs to be made.
Go ahead, give me a medicine check.
And I just, so me, or is it going to be me, or I think I'm going to have.
Is yours higher?
No.
You don't
I have a -1 to wisdom.
Okay, then it's a good thing I did it because I got a 19. So 21 total.
Trust me, I'm a doctor.
That's intelligence, by the way, not wisdom.
All right. So you chop off the arm with the tattoo, By the time it's chopped, like by the time you finish, any glow is gone, and it is now still just kind of a black burnt out brand almost now. Ushime, well, I'm going to start with actually N. It's at this point when you are dealing with this, it's like you remember back at the hideaway when you were seeing Void Shatter get into that car. It's like this glow of this particular tattoo, it kind of just triggers that memory, and you see that picture again of her in the vehicle. And what feels wrong, it wasn't like she was sitting, she was lying across the back, and you got a good picture of her ankle. And just above the ankle bone, you saw, sorry, I should have had this up and ready. You saw a symbol. Just give me a second. Because it is not letting me find it. Okay, so now I can share. You saw a symbol just above her ankle of that. This one, however, while the symbol that you have just like taken from the arm was glowing red, this one, what you remember, seemed to have glowed the color of yellow Astra. It had that that look about it. Whereas this one, so this one is yellow, whereas the other ones had been red so far. Ushime, when you are watching Weiss and N deal with the bodies, you too are having kind of a flashback, this time to that moment when you were talking to the bodyguards that were carrying Void Shatter and trying to get them to let you approach. And it was in one of the movements as their suit jacket kind of lifted up a little bit and you could see the guy's wrist. And you too remember now seeing a symbol glowing very brightly with the color of red Astra, that symbol that you have seen on all these other bodies so far. I will share it again once more. This one. You saw that on the bodyguard as he was carrying away Void Shatter.
That tattoo.
Yeah.
I saw it on Void Shatter's bodyguards. Kind of says, pointing it out. Though.
I don't think they were bodyguards.
I don't think they were bodyguards. I think we said that at the exact same time.
Yeah. Considering she had a tattoo that was yellow Astra on her leg. And these have all been red. And I would try and find something to draw what I remember, but...
Yeah, and it's when you're saying, and when you say that one on her ankle was yellow, it's almost at that moment, maybe you trail off even as you say it, that you realize why it seems so familiar to you. But that is the symbol you have been seeing in your dreams for about 3 months.
With since we have a little bit more context for these symbols now than their relation to gangs, is there some kind of like knowledge check that Weiss could make just thinking about things that they've picked up traveling through the void on different starships and different planets, kind of through merchants? Any kind of like red versus yellow gang warfare sort of thing with orchestra or anything like that. Oh,
I hit
muted.
that unmute button. Need to learn to do that. Absolutely, you can give me a what would be the best skill for this? Lore, maybe? Is there a lore?
Yeah, there is lore, and I'm proficient in it. So
Yeah, it's probably. What else is there?
there's like lore,
Um,
astrogation.
Not so much astrogation, but either lore or astra would work.
Well, I have both of those. I'll just do lore.
Ushime will give you advantage using the help action as we like put our brains together, I guess. Well, Yushime's approach here is going to be more on going over the symbolic importance of these symbols. Trying to tap into his knowledge of how Astra works. Because of their coloration, because of the strange and mystical nature he puts onto them. The fact that they glow with Astra energy rather than just being regular ink. All these things kind of make him spit out brainstorm ideas with you, Weiss.
I imagine like Weiss sort of like asks out loud. I mean, they're asking themselves, but they're still asking out like, what about these symbols in the realms of gangs? Back to, well, there we go. That's going to be a 12 all up. Oh wait, advantage.
Advantage, yeah. I was gonna say.
Oh, still 12.
Still 12. All right. So maybe it's what's going on right now, kind of distracting you, scattering your thoughts. You're not able to place exactly what this is or why. As far as you know at this point, though, like you haven't seen these symbols before. You know that you have not before 3 months ago. You've never seen these symbols before. However, something is niggling at the back of your mind, and you are not able at this moment to gather enough focus to try to figure out what that is.
Imagine Weiss is just kind of sitting there, like staring off, just kind of at the floor, at the ground, kind of off and sort of dissociating, just kind of wrapping some bandages around their necrotech arm again, just like something at the tip of my mind.
And I think it's at that. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say, while it seems like the doctor and Ushime are busy, I would turn to to Jynx and say, "Do you have does your contact have a way for me, a secure line for me to contact someone in my organization?"
I mean, that shouldn't be an issue once we get there. But see, you need to stop shooting everything as soon as you see them.
If they weren't going to attack you guys, I wouldn't have.
Ushime gives like a nod, like as he's listening to the conversation. He's like nodding. Yep.
So usually you're on a building and I'm doing my thing, and you're but we're in the middle of a city and probably not really. I mean, I know Triggerfinger. I just need you to do me a favor. I need you to not kill so many people around me all the time. Like, I mean, we can beat them up. We can knock them out. We can leave them piled up in an alleyway. You can still strip them if you want to. I mean, I'm not going to judge. I'm just saying, like, the brain's exploding everywhere constantly. Not like, just, give it a second. You might not have to.
I will say, I'll try. I cannot promise that people won't die, because if they're going to attack you guys, I will shoot.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. Just, you don't always have to shoot first. I know you'd like to, but
Weiss technically got his gun out first that time.
Okay, just try. Like, let's just try. Just while we're in the city, maybe. Like, give it a go, see what it's like to not kill everyone you come across. But yeah, totally got a contact for you. Don't even worry about that. I got that.
Maybe this is about this time. It's probably appropriate as you're talking about dead bodies and not killing. That's when you hear again the sirens, but this time they are much closer. I'm taking those emotions as we are getting the F out of here. And
Yep. I'll actually fall behind the rest of the group and stealth because I know I'm the stealthiest one of the party, so it's less likely that they see us if I'm behind them.
So you head off towards Jynx's contact. I would like you to describe to me, each of you in turn, something that you pass by or see in this journey towards Jynx's contact. Something of the city, the people. You tell me, what do you see that is worth mentioning?
As we're going down the street, Jynx is kind of keeping her head down a little bit and looking around. Every once in a while, she slides a glance over at N just because she's making sure there's no guns getting slid out in the middle of the street if somebody looks at N wrong. But she's gonna pass a little old lady who's pushing a food cart, and across the top of the food cart it says Argyle chips, and the lady's got this fryer and it's this like heated surface, and as we get closer you can hear over the people walking around the popping sound of these skin strips as they're being fried up on this like contraption that she's running there. And for just real fast, you're gonna see Jynx. She's gonna slide over to the old lady, take a couple quick steps to get ahead of everybody, and she's gonna grab one of the big wraps, these paper wraps of these chips, and she's gonna give the lady some money, and then immediately pop one in her mouth and start doing the thing like they're really hot. And she's gonna walk over and, well, want one? They're really hot though, here. And she's gonna hold them out as we continue walking down the street.
You would notice if you actually are watching N that as we're walking, she sees a tree that's in the middle of a park that has an overlook over water. She actually stops moving to look at the tree, shakes her head real quick, and then has to run to catch up because you guys left her.
And I imagine the reason we were running ahead, or at least Weiss is not stopping, is because kind of beyond this tree, kind of behind it, sort of half on the steps, half in kind of the court side in front of it, there's this group of 3 people, all kind of wearing these sort of semi armor, semi almost clerical looking. They look sort of like weird uniforms, and they're kind of, one of them is kind of on a raised podium, and there's sort of a crowd around them. A lot of people going past them, ignoring them, and the guy is just, renounce yourselves from the impurities of machine mixing with flesh. It is an evil which must be rooted out. And we, the Order Viscerae, will do it. And kind of this continuing with sort of this weird street evangelist, and you kind of notice Weiss does not make eye contact with them at all and just kind of keeps staring ahead. But Weiss definitely pulls their coat a little bit over their arm and just kind of walks a little faster past them.
Connor, if you're speaking, you're muted.
Sorry. It's my plague, I swear. What's going on, sorry?
On your way to Jynx's contact, we are...
Yeah. That's right. Okay, perfect. Ushimi's looking around. There are these... almost like these lights in the sky. And Ushimi thinks of these lights, perhaps, are just the stars that exist in the orbit, in the known orbits. But, of course, this is not so, as this moon, the orchestra, in itself just massively, massively towered. The stars that he sees are not actually stars, just the tall buildings that exist, skyscrapers, innumerable amounts of them, their lights from their windows. And Ushimi almost feels out of place again. I mean, he never felt in place, but almost this like longing for his home pulls him over once more. A home that he'll never return to.
It is while you are on this walk, probably nearing your destination, when you see a couple, for lack of better words, out. It's not like they're even hiding themselves. They are out in the middle in broad, well, that's not daylight, but like out in the broad lights of the city. And they are in the midst of an extreme carnal act, as you see this. And Weiss, as you are, maybe you've noticed them first, but you can almost see in the face and the sounds of one of the partners that they have taken something that is enhancing the physicality, the sensations. What's going through your head at this moment?
And I'm sorry, this is just two people we're kind of passing on the street.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just in the middle, in the public. Not.
So Weiss kind of notices the symptoms of this enhancement substance. And just kind of squints a little bit. Kind of like, well, they sure are doing that. And that's not me. That's not going to be me. But sort of a very quiet, sort of weird discomfort, despite someone who seems to be very okay with killing people on a dime, on a whim, on a whatever a dime would be in Harbinger dime.
On a glint.
On a glint.
On half glint. Yeah. Maybe it's while you're trying hard not to look, but you find yourself still fighting that urge to look, and you see, like on the back, maybe like the lower back just above, in the smaller the back there, of the one person a small glowing mark that kind of radiates purple. And what you see is, share screen. That symbol. It's hard to make out from the distance you're at, but nonetheless, you see this and you recognize it because it too plagues your dreams.
I imagine Weiss just kind of double takes a bit, sees this symbol, and just kind of stares probably for a little bit longer than they should. And just keeps walking, but does not forget that.
Jynx, as you near the place where your contact is, can you describe what we are seeing?
Are we going to see like my main contact from my backstory, or is it someone else? Who is it? Like, I didn't know if you had an idea of who you were having me see.
It is who you want to see at this point, because
Okay, so as we kind of start to get closer, the city goes from mostly streets to these. It's this giant section of the city where most of the buildings have some sort of awning over the front, and it seems like the crowds kind of gather and filter in and out, almost as if you were doing a pub crawl of types, but they kind of are just moving in and out of buildings and wandering, and there's a lot of working back and forth through that, more than just a standard the street that we were walking on, I feel, was more of a paced street. You're kind of trucking along the streets and stuff. And over here it's more relaxed, and there's a lot of talking going on, but there's very much definitely cliques of groups of different people. Like, you look over in an area and there'll be people, maybe all of them are wearing a particular jacket with some sort of symbol or something on it, or you'll have a group over here that maybe they all have instruments of some sort and they're doing their thing in front of this building, but then you'll have people that are just walking in between all these areas. And then of course you also see quite a few of the standard kind of leaning against the wall, looking shady kind of people hanging out. And yeah, that's what you kind of see as we're coming up on this space.
and who is it that we are going to see when we get there?
I think that in this particular case, we probably would be seeing Jynx is going to lead everyone into this building that it looks like a tattoo parlor almost. It actually says tattoo on it, and the front's all done up as a tattoo parlor. And there's probably people in there getting some Astrafade tattoos here and there, or Astra tattoos. But once she walks into the back more, it turns into a bar type setting, and there's a lounge in there. And she'll walk up to the counter, and there's this hulking massive man standing behind the counter, and she'll just lean up and you got a minute? We got something we got to ask you about. And wait for him.
And it's almost like he's busy doing something. Maybe he was like cleaning a glass or what have you, and his back was initially turned to you, and then he hears your voice, and The glass is immediately put down, and he turns around. Jinxie baby, what brings you here?
She'll just start chuckling and oh man, she's like, dog, come on. I swoop in every once in a while when I'm in the neighborhood. Kaji doesn't have me running around anywhere, so figured I'd swing in and say hi. And we got a good mystery. I know you love a mystery, so.
Oh, do I ever?
But I kind of need us to. You don't want this mystery out on the table out here. So you got a minute and back?
I got you, girl. Just give me a second. I'll get it back. And with that, he kind of like puts down the glass, goes over to the other end. You can see him kind of taking care of another customer before he kind of returns, goes the other way and disappears into kind of a little back room. He's gone for maybe a couple of minutes. And then he comes back out and says, "Place is all yours."
Great. Hey guys, come meet dog over here. And she'll just lead everybody into the back room, and we get in the back room, and it's, the standard back room deal, kind of low lights, but it's, interestingly enough, it's actually kind of cozy. It's got this really well taken care of table that looks like it actually might be made out of real wood, which is kind of a rare commodity to run across for backroom furniture in these kinds of places. And the seats are pretty lush. They got a nice little cushion to them. They're pretty comfortable, and you can tell he kind of takes pride in his room back here that he lets us use. So once everybody's in the room, she's just going to pull her nice little fleshy bit that she's been carrying around out and slap it down on the table, and then kind of motion for the rest of the group to throw theirs down. And so, you seen these things before, man?
Like, whoa, what you doing? You're wrecking my table. Just a second.
Look at the shine. It's fine. We'll wipe it right up.
And he's like, he goes out to like a little closet or something and pulls out some ragged old scrap cloth, puts that down first, and lets you reposition the stuff on top of that as he's kind of cleaned the area underneath first. Oh, you've brought me some grisly things before, but Jynx, what have you gotten yourself into?
Well, the first one was just, we were over at the I can't remember the name of the location. We were over at the what was it? Oh, the Hideaway. Yeah. We were over at the Hideaway tonight, and did you hear about the shit that happened there, man? Freaking yeah, there was an explosion. Anyways, the guy that blew the place up had this on him, and then these guys,
whoa, just you're moving a little fast for me, girl. I can't comprehend. What happened where?
Hideaway. We were over at what's the DJ's name?
Void Shatter.
Thanks. We were over at Void Shatter's shit tonight, man. She puts on a good show. Oh, she gets the best Lorium to run her shit. But anyways, so we were over at her show, and guy just walks up and boom, blows the place up. And then all of a sudden we're trying to get over there, talk to her. Her bodyguards are pulling her in back. Now we can't find her. We don't think it's bodyguards. We found this thing on this guy that tried to blow the place up. Then these guys got a little trigger happy and points to the other arm. And, there's just the symbols, man, the symbols. That's all I need to know about is these freaking symbols. Do you know anything about the symbols?
The stuff you get into.
I don't mean to.
Well, this is going to be all over. No, I hadn't heard. Just so you know, this is the first I've heard of it.
News tried to travel here, guys? It didn't get here yet?
No, this is first we're hearing of it, but
that's weird.
Gonna have to hunker down on and no, this is not going to be good for business in the next few days. Let me see those. And he kind of grisly looks at the fleshy bit. It's kind of like, and then the the arm. He's like holding
Weiss
it up.
You know what, Weiss, if we haven't pulled that out already, Weiss kind of like, we also have an arm for you, and with an extra, Weiss does lay down like an extra sanitary thing underneath it, just as in like a, no, this is how you do sanitation. So, and then the arm.
Perfect. And he looks at the symbols, and you can see confusion in his eyes. Like I've never seen these before. Where'd you say you got them? Or who did you get them from?
Bodies. This one came off of a bomber, and that one was detached from a couple of dusters that attacked us in an alley.
Yeah. I think at that point you would actually see N step out of the shadows.
Oh.
Hello, dog.
Have you met Dog before?
Have I met Dog before, Jynx?
We'll do a Barker technique here. Evens you have, odds you haven't.
Okay.
Evens you have. Jynx rolled you through here once before.
And he doesn't seem nearly as happy to see you as he did you. Your work, I assume. And he's just kind of pointing at the
arm. Yes. The bomb, no.
No, Jynx. I haven't seen this before. And he looks at them again. It's like, leave it with me. Well, leave this one with me. And he'll take the little fleshy bit bag. I'll look into it. You can have that one.
Yeah, okay, so I mean, I know we do similar out here with the Astra tattoos and stuff, but before we chopped that one's arm off, it was literally glowing. Like it had Astra in it, so maybe that'll help you out. I'm not sure, but it was glowing. I don't know. Maybe it'll help you narrow it down somehow. Red.
Okay. And you can see he's like processing all of this information, and from what you know of Dog and have having to work with him before, that he is like his name. He will continue to hunt down the smell until he finds out anything. So you know that even though he doesn't know anything at this point, that at some point he will probably link up with you again and have some information for you if there is any to be found. You know that this guy will be able to track at least something down for you.
Okay. Well, thanks, Dog. She's gonna kind of motion to the rest of the group to, unless somebody has something else to say, to head back out into the area. And right before she goes, she's gonna kind of, in almost a sisterly type manner, she's gonna sling an arm up around Dog's neck and kind of like stand up on her toes, because even compared to Jynx, who's already, I mean, she's so tall. I think I made her 7'6" or something. She's huge. She's so tall. And she's going to take one of her long, lanky arms. She's going to sling it up around this big, huge, muscular guy that she's talking to. And she's going to give him this very friendly, sisterly, like peck on the cheek. And she's going to like kind of smack his other cheek with her hand as she's doing it. She's like, I know you got me. You're the best, Dog. And then she's going to kind of wander out into the open area and wait for the group.
I would turn to Dog and say, do you have a way that I can get closed communication with my employer by chance? Because our systems seem to have been shut down by some sort of blast.
And he just kind of gives you that look, and he's like, you know, the last time I did this for you, I was down for days afterwards.
Yes, but you also remember that I canceled a contract on this place.
Point taken. Let's see what I can do. And he turns to kind of another cupboard. It's almost like it was hidden at this point. And he presses a couple of things somewhere out of your light, out of your vision, and a click happens, and a door. What looked like a closet door opens up, and behind it is some impressive tech. This is the stuff that Jynx is talking about. This guy has the goods, and he just kind of sets something up and then just kind of gives you there you go.
Thank you, Doc. Hopefully this won't take long, but just need to figure some things out. So I would use that to call Omen,
Okay.
as it is a secure line.
It is a secure line. However, I'm just going to say at this point, you are trying to get a hold of Omen. You know your call is going through. Nobody is picking up on the other end.
Has that ever happened before?
Never.
Okay. Well, once it doesn't pick up, I'll hang up the phone, tell Dog thank you, and go meet with the group.
Yeah. It has never happened before. You know, it's not so much protocol, but like to try again kind of thing. Like something, their connection is now working. Like you could tell that connection's working. Things are back up. Like before, when you tried to connect, there was like zero. You got nothing. This, you're getting something. It's just nothing. No one's on the other end for some reason, and you're not sure why. And that is the mystery at this point. Sorry. Does anyone else have anything else that they would like to do at this point?
I did forget while we were in the room, one of the things Jinx would have wanted to do is look over at the group and be like, hey, can I get one of those short blades that we collected? And then
I'd say, how many do you want? I have a bag full of them.
well, I mean, I guess I don't know if I'll have to look it up later. I don't want to look it up now. I'll just take 2 for right now. But anything that we don't want, I'll look over at Dog, and anything the group doesn't want and say, hey man, can we get some cash for these things over here? Like you wanna trade any of this stuff off and take it off our hands?
Okay. Yeah, he's not really interested in any of the weapons or anything that you got. That's not his thing.
Okay. Yeah, but she wants to grab 2 of those short blades.
Yeah.
And that's all she wants out of what was collected.
Yep, I'd hand out anything that anyone wants.
Okay.
Perfect. So what's your plan at this point? Are you Ushime, you have a place in the city that you are staying at right now. It has been set up for you.
Yeah, that's correct.
So what do you guys plan? We could at this point just take a quick bio break while you guys think about what you maybe want to do at this point, and we'll come back in 5 and carry on. I don't think we have much more. I can see the time, it's getting a little bit late. So we're got a few things to do first, and then we'll call it a night. So we'll take a quick 5-minute break, and then we'll be back at it. So see you guys soon.
Yep.
got some pie.
Yum.
Yay, pie.
Where's my piece?
Sweet potato pie.
Oh, yum, yum.
Very good. So I'm gonna try not to be too much of a distracted glutton in this last part, but
So we have everybody back. Ushime, you back?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so what are you guys doing? What's your next plan of attack? It is getting extremely late at night. It's probably like 2:30, 3 a.m. The sun's going to be up soon. Sun's.
You would notice a very confused look on En's face if you looked, but she won't say anything about it.
perhaps we have enough information that we should split up a bit and then regroup tomorrow, perhaps to continue on with my contact.
I mean, yeah, I guess I could use some sleep. I can finagle my way into a place to crash for the night. Sure. Yeah. Can meet up later.
All right, so it sounds like you guys are splitting up and going.
I'd say so. Just for getting a little bit of sleep and just for like some private processing. I imagine we'd be getting back together pretty soon. The next day.
You're gonna see Jynx will just kind of turn around and she'll just like look over at a dog. She'll be like, I'm gonna crash on the couch for a bit. And she'll just walk back into the room where the table was and close the door behind her if everybody's gonna process and relax. Then she'll close the door and then she'll crack it open and she'll be like, there's a cot and if you wanna crash here. Then she'll close the door again.
I've got my own arrangements, but thank you.
Oh,
What's it
I
like-
meant N, Doc. I wasn't. I don't know if I feel like we're at that point in our relationship yet. So
I just kind of ignore Jynx and say, Mr. Ushime, will you be needing my services anymore tonight?
When you say it like that, I'll have to refuse them.
Wonderful. Then good night to you. And Weiss leaves. And Weiss is going to find a building with a fire escape or something similar. And using my necrotech arms, I'm going to climb it and sleep on a roof.
All right. Okay.
And I'm going to try to make sure I'm as hidden on the... I'm not just going to sleep on the middle of the roof, but I'm going to try to have some relative hiding. But the ground is a little too perilous.
So maybe kind of like one of those flat roofs where like from the outside, like bottom of the street, they've got that wall almost, and then underneath they've got all the vents and stuff. So
yeah, exactly, like a nice exhaust vent or even a chimney, actually, because I've got a respirator, so I can sleep in pretty terrible places.
Perfect.
I would actually follow Ushime to make sure that Ushime got back to wherever he was sleeping first. If you need me to roll stealth, I will.
Are you letting him know that you're going with
Oh,
him?
I don't care if he sees me, but I'll roll a stealth to stay hidden because I'll try and get high ground.
Sure, give
If-
me a stealth throw.
Seems to be a path on the high ground to go across. That's a 20.
Ushime, I'll let you decide whether or not you see.
Well, that
And-
beats my passive perception by more than double.
Yeah, so I'll let you see if you even are trying to look for it, or you just
Well, I would have told him
Oh.
first before I went up to the roof.
Okay.
Okay. Jynx. So they all leave at this point. N goes after Ushime, probably to make sure he gets back safe. You're by yourself, and I think that's probably the time when you take out that loot from Void Shatter's room. And what you've nabbed is a soft Fabian leather satchel. Fabian being some strange, let's say like mink-like creature of this moon. It's really nice. You can see her. She probably had pride in this set that she's got here. And you open it up, and it is a satchel that's filled with some random tech parts that you recognize and can use absolutely. And I've got a list of for you, but what we've got here is a phase inhibitor, some Astroflex capacitors, an ion inductor, a mini plasma gate generator, and some orichalcum pellets. As well, you find a little pouch that there are 2 Lorium vials, unactivated. So that means they have 0 information on them at the moment. You also find hidden in one of the little recesses I'm sorry, a little pouch. Let's get into equipment. Got to write it down. Items, where are you? Items. Venture gear. There we go. Okay. You find it is called miasma.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a little piece of it left. I'll let you read what it is, but there's one of those. And then there's a discreetly marked kind of little cylinder. It would almost look like an old-fashioned lipstick tube. But when you open it, you find inside of it an activated Lorium vial. And I will copy that all down and paste it in the chat for you to have.
So I also had taken Lorium vials off of her chair.
Yeah, the ones that
I-
were filled with the music stuff. So you have 2 of those as well. Yeah.
Right. Those are technically activated then also?
Yes, they are definitely activated. You can tell that they are activated. And you are pretty sure you know what's on them at this moment as well, because that's what she was using to do her sound.
Mm-hmm. I had 2 inactives, and then I've got the 2 actives.
Oh, and it says drug from rulebook. That's miasma. You would know it. Jynx would know what that is. Like it is it's not an unknown thing. It's like a psychoactive substance that's synthesized with Astra. It's definitely a recreational drug, but it also is like medical applications. It's pretty common. It's not the same thing as dust. It's not even close. Like this is a I'm not going to say like a legal enhancement, but it's an enhancement. It just like if people know and use it, it's pretty common.
Okay.
If you have the money for it. So that is what you see as you relax and cut your stuff. All that tucky bits, you can use those to repair things or make like weapon attachments, that kind of thing. That's what they would be used for.
The phase inhibitors and all that stuff.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So when you want to go to repair or make a weapon upgrade or however, like if you find something and salvage, those are the parts that you can use to help repair them.
You had told me I had pulled out her, I think we called it Whisper Tech. Her Whisper Link, yeah.
Yeah.
Like looking at that, is there any way to hook that up to any of the like the tech that's in the room or anything to kind of get maybe a call history or something out of it? Like a reading as to who she communicated with recently, or is that something that like I can click on and activate and maybe I don't know, star 69 it or something?
Yeah, you would probably have to hack into it because most likely something like Void Shadow would have
had it coded.
Had it coded up, secured.
Okay. So I guess is there a way that I can try to hack into that with his tech that he's got there that I know is in the back, or can I try doing that, or is that not the right kind of tech for it?
Oh no, he's probably
he's got
dog. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That he's got.
that is the sum of the stuff. You bet. Yeah. So go for it. Give me that tech roll.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, apparently I'm really tired and I need to take a nap before I try to do this because I rolled a 1. So
yeah, you're looking at this stuff and it's almost like the letters or whatever are swimming before your eyes. You are exhausted. So definitely we'll try again tomorrow on that one.
It's time for a nap.
I'm going to turn the camera onto N. And you're following Ushime. And it's while you're following him and you notice like a nondescript vehicle, like a hover car, kind of flies slowly towards him, and you're looking, you're checking it out, and you see the ID tag on the back. Like we're not talking like plates here, like these are like holographic things that you see when you're looking at it and then they disappear. You can with your one Whisper Link, you could probably read the tag. This is just the common tag. Like some people even have it kind of attached into their retinal socket so that they can just read it as they're looking at this stuff. But you're looking at that, and that information all of a sudden just kind of ting, 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 ting in your brain. And you realize what it was about that other car that you saw in the alley that you did not at the time realize what it was, but you knew something was off with that vehicle. Now you know what it was. You could not read their ID tag. It was
can I read the ID tag on this one? Or can I?
Yeah, you could. Like I'm kind of imagining that as soon as N gets kind of a little paranoia thing about anybody following Ushime, like she's checking it out, she's got her Whisper Link or whatever tech that she has, right? Because she's looking at this stuff, and you immediately call it up and you find it's just like a regular number. That does nothing about it. This one kind of drove past Ushime, they were just like looking or something. So your hackles kind of went down, but that's the moment when you realized that you couldn't read the ID tag of that other car. And it wasn't like they didn't have it. They had one. You saw it. You read it. You couldn't get the information. It was like it was gone. And then the memory of it not being there was also gone until this happened. And you're realizing it was probably some sort of jammer signal or something on this vehicle. Because you rolled really well in that perception. And so that is what you didn't see, if we were to say. While you are thinking about that and what that may mean, we're going to head to Ushime. Ushime, you make it back to the apartment that you're staying at. Can you describe it to me?
It's small, cramped. It's probably in a very prime location, which means that the four walls I have are slightly larger than a closet for an actual space. But it's a rented space that is somewhat patronized for me. And it's got a tiny little window that lets me see out into the dead of night, and its gossamer colors of all the lights around, artificial. There's thousands of little apartment cubicles just like this one in this massive building, towered on top of each other to accommodate massive populations of people who live like this.
So Ushime, it's as you are going through the maybe it's like the door scan that you have at this moment. I'm not sure what the guy who is renting it to you, or your what's your patron, Aoris? What's his name, right? Aoris.
Yeah.
What he gave you, maybe it's like a little, almost like a little fob or something that you can just kind of slide it across this panel. But it's at the moment that you do that and you open the door and step inside, your whisper link rings. I say ring, but it's basically the version of it saying that you have an incoming link.
This is before I open the door or after I go in?
As you are opening the door and entering
Yeah, I enter, close the door behind me, and then establish communications with the whisper link.
And you see on the other end, actually the face of probably a young woman, smartly dressed, definitely business attire. She's very polished. You can see like hair's perfectly coiffed, very, very well groomed. And she's immediately, as her face pops up and she sees you on the other end, she's, "Hello, Ushime. My employer, Kerrigan Rald, would like to meet with you tomorrow."
On what business?
He believes we can mutually help each other.
And I'm going to assume that Ushime has not heard of this name, nor has seen this woman's face before.
You can give me a I guess lore check. Yeah, lore check, because it's nobility. Give me a lore check.
Oh, if it's nobility, I have a thing for that.
Yeah, you do have a thing for that, don't you?
I'm going to read what my thing says. Oh, okay. I can do the inverse of what this lady's doing to me. Perfect. Okay. So I got a total of 19 on my lore check.
Okay, so you recognize the name of Kerrigan Rald. He is a well-known businessman in New Sardis. You know him to be the owner and CEO of the Megara Group. Though you do not understand why he'd be contacting you at this point.
And how would he like me to be in his audience? Ushime says to the woman on the other end of the whisper link.
Come to his offices at 2 p.m. Except that they wouldn't say 2 p.m. It would be, what was that, 1400? Standard Tharkestrian time. And you can talk to him then. And she gives you the address of the office if you didn't know it.
Very well.
He looks forward to seeing you and your friends.
Them too.
Yes, please.
Well, you can let him know that we'll be there.
Much obliged. And without even saying goodbye or anything, she just hangs up, cuts the link. So, unless somebody else has anything else to do tonight, we might end there.
And would have been on the roof still until Ushime either contacts her or she sees him through a window to make sure he gets in safely. And then she'd walk back to... Actually, no, she'd just sleep on the roof. She's already there. She might as well.
Perfect. So, hangs out up there. Gotcha.
She's used to it.
Yeah. So then we will leave our peoples as they get some much needed shut eye. And when we see each other next time, you guys can have the benefit of a long rest.
Yay! That means I get to what? Move my Astra back down by 1?
Yes, sir. That is what will happen.
I'm gonna do that all the long rest stuff right now because I'm gonna forget by the time next time.
Yeah, and you guys might as well level up at this point too. Let's just do that as well.
Sweet.
Ooh, sweet. Okay. I'm gonna have to go look into that because this is our first time leveling. Congratulations, everybody! Well done.
Yeah,
We made it to level 2.
You did. Yes, yes, yes.
I'm
All
dying.
right.
I'm
I
impressed.
didn't die. I didn't die once despite only having 10 health. So that's
That close.
Right?
It came close. Oh, I rolled a 1 and a 3 on that crit.
Actually, would you
I
have
got-
died if you hadn't healed?
I
Pardon me?
got brought down to half both times. I got attacked once.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you would have died if I hadn't healed you. Holy crap.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I'm gonna just use my Astra again on that last intimidation I did, and then I realized that once I looked at the Astra chart and I realized an 8 on the D8 is you take 2d8 damage, and I was like, that literally has the potential to one-shot me if this messes up. We're gonna hold off for a minute.
Are we rolling HP by the way for other levels?
You can roll or take average. I'll let you decide. I'm not going to force you to do either.
I'm gonna roll.
All right.
Considering how well I've been rolling.
Right, I like rolling. I'm happy I rolled because I got a 10.
I too
Nice.
like living dangerously.
So,
Ooh, big
puts
money.
me up to double my health. Nice. I'm now at 24 maximum.
Rolled an 8
Yeah.
Nice.
There you go.
on my D8.
Max, nice. So 2 people maxed.
Woohoo!
What'd you do, Weiss? Weiss?
I got 6 plus 1, so I got almost double.
Still pretty good.
Yeah.
And Demi?
Rolled a 1. Oh yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Oh,
I mean, still got more than what I would have gotten if I had just gone average. So, all right.
ooh.
I get expertise at this level.
Yeah.
Interesting.
research what I get and figure that all out.
Yes. Oh, that's awesome. I can instantly summon my weapon to my hand no matter where it is.
That's fun.
So I can just leave my weapon somewhere and not care.
Alrighty. I'm going to sign off the stream for right now. Thank you,
Bye,
everyone,
stream.
for coming along with us on this journey and hanging out with us now and in the future. It'll be fun then too. So thank you, everyone, and we'll see you in 2 weeks when we come back. Yeah, we are going to play on December 29th.
We are. Yay.
So good night, everyone.
Night.
Good night.
Going to hit the wrong